Kristen Arnold. I'm your happy moderator.
Hi, I'm Joni Phillips with 110.
I'm Jen Glenn with Design in Chief.
I'm Anne-Marie Rogers with Direct Travel.
And this segment is a rapid fire round on different tools, products, things that helped us through this pandemic and beyond. So we're going to start with Joni. What's a good book that you read that was supportive and helpful?
Well, actually, I didn't read any like self-help books, but I read a lot of fiction. And the last book I read was called Codename Hélène, and it's about a French resistance fighter during World War II. And I thought, man, if she can make it through that, I can make it through this. So I kind of lost myself in fiction.
Good inspiration.
Yeah, that's great. I follow Joni because we actually started when we headed into winter, a book club for women in the industry in Toronto here. And we just, we're just doing The Winemaker's Wife, which is based about the Champagne region and the French resistance. And then for kind of learning, and I've recommended it to so many people, Atomic Habits by James Clear on how to create new habits in your life. How about you, Anne-Marie?
Yeah, so I also was part of a book club, and we read a book called The Traveler's Gift. And it's a little bit of a story about a near-death experience, and it's time travel, where he hooks up with 7 different very famous people, from Abraham Lincoln to Eisenhower to the angel Gabriel, and kind of all about the lessons there. And really the whole lesson of the book is that it's all within your power to change things, and it's all your attitude. And it really spoke to me, and it's a book I think I would read again and again.
Lots of inspiration there. Any other books?
Where the Crawdads Sing is another great fiction book that we just did, or the Alice Network, kind of going on the same, I think it's the same author, Joni, as the one that you recommended.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Excellent. How about podcasts? Are you guys podcast listeners? Anne-Marie, you are?
Yeah, I mean, I got way more into podcasts this time, during this event. And I love this guy, Andy Frisella, who's another kind of a self-help, but kick you in the butt kind of person. And you're just like, whoa, yeah, I guess so. But really holding people accountable and all these different topics. I found myself planning to listen to one, and I would listen to 4. So a little bit of a binge personality. But and also I've gotten really into Clubhouse. I don't know if any of you guys have done that, but it's a series of podcast kind of discussions about everything. So, I mean, there's one about what'd you have for dinner, and I just clipped into that one just to see what they were talking about. But they're talking about the economy, they're talking about travel, they're talking about just anything that you can think of, and it's really interesting.
And they're not recorded.
They're not recorded, right? So
podcasts, Jen?
Yeah, I was listening to a lot of the kind of empowerment ones, female speakers kind of thing. And then somebody recommended the Dax Shepard armchair conversation. And he's so articulate and smart. And he just had one with Bill Gates the other day. It was really well done. And then, of course, we have our own Mice podcast with the famous Wayne Walgreen. So those are always good to listen to. I'm also listening to something called Growth Day. So it's different coaches talking about different things, from focus to resilience to dedication. So yeah, I'm just always looking for new speakers. But I think mostly I've been doing listening to the books on tape, not tape now. How old do I sound? But I've been booking virtual walks with friends in the industry. So at least 3 times a week, I go for about an hour-long walk with people. So that's kind of replaced my podcast a little bit now, because the weather's getting better and I need to get outside and walk the dogs as well. So that's been my go-to.
Joni, are you a podcaster?
You know what? I'm probably the one person in the United States who is not. I have never listened to a podcast. I should have saved that for Two Truths and a Lie sometime. But when I go for a walk every day, 60 minutes every day, and I actually listen to classical music, or I play the piano a little bit, and I listen to the songs that I'm practicing on the piano, and that helps me with my learning the song. So I like to just still my head a little bit when I go for a walk and not just take a break from everything.
Okay, so Joni, do you binge on YouTube or Netflix?
Netflix. And that's the one thing that was really hard is like I would watch the entire season of something in, maybe a week time frame, and then it's another year before it comes back. So it's like, shoot, wish I had a little bit more patience to space things out. But yeah, Netflix.
Either that or you just get something that's already finished.
Yeah.
Jen, are you a Netflix or a YouTube binger? What do you watch?
Netflix. Yeah. The Crown, Bridgerton, all the ones like that. So, but I agree. Frankie and Louise.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. And it's been off for so long now. So yeah.
Anne Marie, what about you?
Netflix too. And I agree with Joni. Watched 4 seasons of Yellowstone and can't wait for the next one. Ozark, and like Jen said, The Crown, and I realized I have no patience with commercials now with live TV.
Right.
And I'm not good at waiting.
A commercial.
Right. I need immediate gratification, so I end up staying up all night because we're watching 10 episodes. So moderation.
So what tool do you have in your office, in your toolbox that you can't live without? Anne Marie?
That's a really good question. Well, I would say in my home office, the tool I can't live without is our Peloton, because it keeps me sane. So we got a Peloton during the pandemic, and from cycling to yoga to core strength to all these things that you never knew you could do on this small machine, that has really helped my sanity.
All righty. Joni, what about you? Tools you can't live without?
I would say that's kind of hard, but I would say kind of to Anne Marie's point, I've got like a stretch band, and I use that all the time throughout the day, just when things are getting a little stressed and I need some sort of immediate physical release. That's my go-to.
So do you have it close to you?
I don't.
Which means you're not stressed.
Yay!
How about you, Jen?
My go-to tool, I have been working on the treadmill all winter, which is great, but my go-to tool is the Zoom. It's, I'm doing Zoom yoga with my mom. I'm doing book clubs with my friends. I'm doing wine chats with people. So it's, honestly, thank God for the internet being able to do this, because I can't imagine going through this pandemic without being able to see anybody. So at least I feel like I can give everybody a big virtual hug. So yeah, it's being able to stay connected with people.
I find it's fascinating that all your tools are personal tools. What about on a business side, a tool or an app that you use?
I use Monday.com. I use it as a productivity tool to keep me organized. So I've introduced it to a few people, and it just allows me to create a to-do list and keep me organized for all my passion projects.
I use Teams a lot, and I think to Jen's point about Zoom, that I have gotten over the fact that I don't always need to have my hair done and makeup done, and more people have seen me in my authentic self, but I've really made an effort to have the camera on no matter what, and to have that interaction versus just a voice over the phone. And I like Teams with the chat feature, and you can sneak off snarky notes if you need to while you're on with someone else. And
those can get downloaded by the administrator.
Exactly. Well, and I use both of those. I started using Monday.com because of Jen. I'm not as good as she is. And I love Teams too. And I have a stand-up desk, and I really like that because that helps me be more productive, not just sitting on your butt all day long and standing up and just kind of stretching out and while you're working.
Okay, so advice to the women of sight on how to get over camera shyness. Like Joni, you just brought it up. Like, how do you get over the fact that people are just going to see the authentic self other than the Zoom touch up your features function?
All the way to the right.
to know. I didn't know that.
I have a lot more wrinkles than this, people.
I didn't know that either. How do you do that?
So it's in your video settings.
Yeah.
Touch up your features.
No.
Touch up your appearance. And Maria, I have way more wrinkles than this after this last year. I look better on Zoom than I do in Teams by far. So, you know what? I would just say about the camera thing is position your camera, you know, far enough away from you that you know, it's not looking at every feature about you. Make sure you have good lighting, and that the best lighting is natural lighting if you can. And then just be yourself, right? Put a smile on. Everybody looks good with a smile. So, and get glasses. They hide all the bags. Right, Kristen?
But I've had people who say, you know, you have the reflection.
Right.
Cindy Huggett, who does virtual training, she said your hand should be like one hand thing from the top. See, you guys are all great because that kind of positions you in the frame.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, if you are doing public speaking, then get a coach. Let them help you. Right. It's a huge skill set for women. For, you know, it's kind of like goes back to the old days when they told women to learn how to golf, right, so that you could be out there on the course with the boys. But now, you know, public speaking, and I'm terrified of speaking. So, and I'm an emotional speaker as well. So, you know, I think you just have to do it. And if you feel more confident, posting that music beforehand and talking yourself up, like I said, having the picture of my husband there or whatever it is to give you confidence, then it's just practice, right?
To Jen's point, I was just going to say it's practice. And, you know, Zoom has a feature where you can record and replay it. So if you're nervous, you know, get on with yourself, schedule a meeting, practice, look at how often you blink or you close your eyes. And one of my best investments was that $20 ring light that goes right in front of your computer and, you know, lights you up in a better way. But practice. And, you know, to that, you know, find somebody, like to Jen said, find a colleague or a mentor or somebody that will practice with you. And they can be critical of you and tell you, you know, what you need to improve on. And I've gotten a million times more comfortable from doing a lot of these, but still you look at it, when I always watch it back, I think, oh shoot, I should have done that. So it's just practice, practice, practice.
And I would say on a day-to-day basis, you're thinking about it more than the other person's thinking about it. They really don't care. No one really cares if my hair is tucked back behind my ears and I have no makeup on and I'm wearing a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. No one cares. What they care about is that I'm in front of them, that I'm looking at them, that I care about them, and that we're having a conversation. That's what matters. And to Jen's point, everyone looks good with a smile on. So put a smile on your face and you are good to go. I used to have, or I still have, a refrigerator magnet that says, put on a little lipstick, you'll be fine. Well, I would just change that to put on a little smile and you'll be fine.
Put on a little smile. Well, ladies, I'm smiling at you because you're full of wisdom. One thing to end off, because we always start with the one thing or end with the one thing. What's the one thing you could not have lived without during this pandemic? The one thing. Joni.
I'm going to say wine. I'll be honest.
Any particular brand? Any particular grape variety?
Nope.
Jen.
Okay, the honest would be wine with Joni, but you know, honestly, my husband. He's just so supportive, and he's allowed me to start 6 different passion projects, and he helps me finish them.
Anne-Marie, one thing you can't live without.
So sorry, I can never follow directions. I would say yes, wine, yes, my husband, but also my strong friend colleagues who have really supported and really are there for you and make you realize that you're not in this alone. And on the days when I feel like I can't do it, they talk you up. And on the days when they feel like they can't do it, you talk them up. And I never would have made it through this without them.
And that is a wrap. Great final statement. Thank you so much, ladies.